When I was 17, I signed up. Took the bus to the recruiting station in Elizabeth. Took what amounted to a little, I guess, intelligence test, which I suppose anybody could have passed at the time. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew it. And then I turned 18 in April, and I went up and I signed all the papers. No one else had to sign the paper for me. Well, we had 3 drill instructors. I can't remember all their names right now, but I think our senior drill instructor was Sergeant McGinty, and he was tough. He was dead on by the book, but he was very fair. Second drill instructor, I guess his name was Sergeant Cowan. He's a Korean War veteran. I would say that he was fair, very tough, but boy, this guy, nothing against the new Marine Corps, the old Marine Corps, but this guy would slap you around like you were a mosquito. The third guy was, he was a corporal, and he was good, he was tough, he was fair, but you could tell he was a little bit nicer than the other 2 guys. Physical training was always, it was in the early morning and late afternoon, and there was a drill instructor on a platform in the middle of, I guess you'd say 4, each platoon was about 80 people, and there were 4 platoons on the 4 sides of this platform. And you did everything that the drill instructor did. When he was doing push-ups, you were doing push-ups in unison and yelling each time you came back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you all did sit-ups together, and you all did certain exercises called bends and thrust and jumping jacks. You did all these exercises together, and it was at the point that you were completely worn out that these 4 platoons all lined up in 4 lines in competition at the obstacle course, and then the whistle blew. And the drill instructors were yelling and screaming at people as they were running up these log poles and swinging on ropes and trying to get over wooden walls and jump across water and all that stuff. And they were screaming because you were always disciplined if you didn't come in first. If your whole platoon didn't finish first. However, I always loved to run the obstacle course. That was one of the things I just really enjoyed doing. But your initial reaction when you get to Vietnam is it's very hot. We got there in July, and it's the dry season. And it can get up to 120 degrees. Very hot. And it's you're moving around all the time. The water you drink is not always clean. You eat sea rations out of a can. You quickly acclimate yourself with the other Marines that are with you. You become integrated very quickly. And when I say integrated, I mean you respect each other's integrity, and you become a team, and you especially respect people that are competent, that people that they know how to read a compass, they know how to call an artillery, they know how to shoot all the various kinds of weapons, they know how to maneuver through the jungle at night. So you become integrated with your competency early on, and that bond of trust is pretty important while you're there. It was a large operation called Union that started in April of '67 when a company called Foxtrot, we called it Foxtrot, was hit and almost completely wiped out by a company was about 200 men. And they were hit by a large North Vietnamese force. And when the word came that they were hit, I was actually on another patrol, a small patrol. We got the word over the radio that we had to get back to the battalion area as soon as possible. So we ran all the way back to the battalion area, several miles through the jungle. When we got back there, the helicopters were already waiting to take us out. So we heli-lifted out to help defend Fox Company. We were heavily engaged near the Laotian border with a lot of North Vietnamese army units. And it was the evening and early morning of May 13th and 14th. And my company was ordered to go to this one section of a river that was a crossing. About 3 o'clock in the morning, we started to get probed. By probe, I mean there was actually North Vietnamese soldiers trying to sneak inside our perimeter. And there was sporadic little firefights here and there, and they were probing our area so they could cross that river there. A lot of North Vietnamese soldiers just running into and charging, and a lot of shooting, and that went on sporadically, fairly heavily, till daybreak, till dawn. And during that time, from 3 o'clock in the morning till dawn, we couldn't call in artillery or naval gunfire or mortars because the fighting was so close. Then when dawn came, all the fighting broke off. But we had a lot of wounded that we needed to take out in medevac helicopters. So when the helicopter came in to try to get the wounded out, some of them had been wounded. This is, maybe 6:30. Some of them had been wounded since the initial contact about 3 o'clock in the morning. So things were pretty difficult, but we couldn't get the helicopters to land because this North Vietnamese force left a few contingents of snipers to shoot at the helicopters because they knew we were going to bring them in. So that means we couldn't pursue, they knew this, the army unit that tried, some of them that actually did cross the river, because we wouldn't leave our wounded. So I went out with 2 other people to try to locate these little pockets of snipers. And this was about 7 o'clock in the morning when we were going to do this.